Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Droid Life Show today, episode 179. It's Friday, July 27th. I'm your host, Kellen. With me, Tim. Tim, say hi.
Hey, guys. How's it going? Tim here.
Hopefully, you got Tim's audio on that one. If you're listening live, apologies for the technical difficulties. Also, yeah, we're switched. In case you're watching this later, Tim's now on the left, I'm on the right. I know there's lots of changes going on. We're not trying to screw with everyone, but either way, big show today. Not only do we have tons of good topics, Android P, DP5, Note 9 rumors, Chromecast is 5G, lots of fives going on, right? But we got trivia back, and our sponsor today is Honor. You may know Honor. They're a sub-brand of Huawei, and they have put up actually some pretty ridiculous prizes. Number one, we're giving away a phone, the Honor 7X, during trivia. There, Tim is showing it off for you there. So we're going to give away an Honor 7X, and then to one person. Then the other four winners, because we always do 5 questions, are going to get an Honor Band 3 Smart Band. So, I mean, everyone's getting pretty ridiculous prizes here. So big shout out to Honor, who's in the chat right now if you're watching live. Big shout out to Honor for sponsoring this show. So we'll get to trivia later. Obviously, we run through topics and then we finish the show with trivia. So let's start off with probably the most important update of the entire week, and that is Alto's Odyssey is now available.
You tricked me. I thought it was something a bit more important.
Nope, it's not. It's just a game. So Alto's Odyssey is it's sort of a platformer snowboarding game. This is the newest one. Tim and I were big fans of the first one, which is Alto's Adventure. It's free to play. You can download it for free. We're just big fans of the game, and we've been like waiting for the release because it was on iOS first. So yeah, we started off with that. Anyways, just go download it. It's free to play. It's just a fun game. It's one of those things where you'll play and play and play, and you'll be stupidly addicted. So in actual news, though, Android P DP5 is now available to Pixel XL, Pixel 2, Pixel 2 XL. And this is, well, it's developer preview 5 of Android P. It's also beta 4. And this gets really confusing because Essential also released Android P DP5 for the Essential phone, but theirs is only beta 3. It's because it's their third beta. Pixels or beta. Anyways, in this preview 5, there's really nothing much notable that's new. This is just the final build before we get to stable release. Probably mid to late August is typically, I think, when Google drops stable builds. So if you haven't been on any of the previews, you've been scared that it's too buggy and you can't use them, this is going to be the most stable. It's basically stable. It's a release candidate. It's just slightly less stable, I guess, than what will be the stable version. Like if there's any little tiny bugs, Google will try to fix those. I will point out that Google Pay, at least on my Pixel 2 XL, still won't let me set it up. And I feel like some people have been able to set it up and some haven't. I haven't been able to. So just keep that in mind. If you use Google Pay a lot to pay in stores for things with NFC, that may not work. That's kind of all that's new. They changed an icon. They got rid of the voice search button on the Google bar in the launcher. What else did they change? It's still July's security patch. That's like it. There's like 3 changes that we noted in our what's new thing. You're not using this because you're still using the OnePlus 6, I'm assuming.
Yeah, correct. I'm not using it, but I got it booted up on the Pixel 2 XL, and from what I did use, it's super fresh. I mean, it runs super smooth. The battery life is, totally fine and exactly what you would expect, I would assume, from a DP5, beta 4, beta 3 if you're on the Essential. I haven't booted it on the Essential, but
yeah. Sure I do have it up and running on an Essential phone. Yeah, I've been using DP4 on Pixel 2 XL since it was released and as my daily phone, and it's been fine. I haven't had any issues. So I'd imagine this one will be fine. I mean, I've had it running for a day and I don't have any complaints there. Battery life seemed sort of exceptional yesterday. Like I went to bed last night and it was 47% or something, which is kind of a lot for a Pixel 2 XL.
Yeah, so, I'm not a huge fan of the new auto rotate system toggle in the pull down.
You don't like it, huh?
No, I mean it looks like the Twitter's retweet icon just rotated 45 degrees, and there's something about it that kind of throws me off.
That's a good point. It does look like the retweet icon. Yeah, it's too sharp. Everything else seems to have a little more roundedness. It's really, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a good point, though. It also shows up if you rotate your phone sideways. like the auto rotate for specific apps. If you do that, it's now that new icon as well. And then it really looks like the retweet button.
Yeah. Come on. Google, what are you doing?
I will say I've been running the last 2 previews, betas, whatever, on the Essential phone. And this could just be me, but I think it's really improved on that phone. So we're going to talk about, well, we have a question possibly related to the Essential phone later in trivia, but I've been running the last 2 previews and I feel like it's actually improved some of the touch latency. I had somebody on Twitter tell me no, that I was just making that up. It seems better. I don't think they've overall fixed some of the touch misses and stuff, but I feel like they're maybe way reduced. I don't know. I used the Essential phone, I think it was like last week or whenever they got that last preview. I used it for 3 or 4 days straight and I just didn't have any issues. Of course, the camera's still garbage, but performance-wise and usage, it was pretty good. Anyway, so Android P DP5 Beta 4, you can go to android.com/beta, I think, if you want to enroll. And again, you don't really have any reason not to at this point, other than if you need to use Google Pay in stores. All right, so product releases this week. Lenovo dropped the first smart display. So smart displays are Google Assistant powered smart speakers. They have a display. They were announced back at CES. So, I mean, not quite a year, but 8 months ago or something, right? We knew that Lenovo was making 2. We know that LG's making 1. We know that JBL's making 1. Sony was supposed to be making 1, but I haven't heard anything about it. And in Google's announcement for this week's release, they didn't even mention Sony. They only mentioned Lenovo, LG, and JBL. So I don't know if Sony's still doing it or not. I'd imagine a bunch of people are going to make these, though, just like everyone's making smart speakers and stuff. Anyways, Lenovo's 10-inch, 8-inch options, $250 for the big guy, $200 for the littler guy. I have a 10-inch one right there. I'm looking at it right now. I can't really hold it up. It's plugged in. It's not like a phone that I can just hold up in front of you. So we've had it for like a week and posted a review of that. If you're interested in these smart displays, we do have a full review up at the site. But the basic idea is it's a smart speaker, but it has a display. And I'll just tell you straight up, and I mentioned this in the review a little bit, this is so much better than Amazon's Echo Show, which has been out for a year and still sucks as far as I know. It's, it pulls up information, but what's kind of cool about it is you can actually touch and interact with it. Like the Echo Show, it would just show you text a lot and it just wasn't really that interactive. It was a screen that would show you stuff. You couldn't really use it all that much. Google, even though this is the first release, like you can scroll around and tap on like your Spotify playlist and tap on other stuff like weather and get more information. And then if you pull up like smart home settings, like your Nest or smart home lights, you can actually manually control brightness or temperature. You can pull up traffic and view. I mean, well, and I should say the biggest part is it's basically like a little TV on my desk because I have YouTube TV. So I just cast it right on over, or you can say to it like, blah, blah, Google Play, YouTube TV, this channel, whatever. And so now you just have like this little TV on here. In my review, I basically said, I'm going to buy one of these. Like the one I have right now is a review unit, so it'll go back to Lenovo, but I'm going to buy one. I like having like this little screen right here that I can mess with to control stuff. I think a lot of people want to put these in kitchens and things like that. And Google's done this thing where they've made recipes like really easy to follow and step-by-step on there. I just had an Echo Show in my kitchen forever and never touched the thing. So I don't think I will do it. But in this setting where I'm sitting at a desk and I have monitors, and if I want to put like YouTube TV on here or look at pictures, like I have pictures scrolling across there right now from Google Photos. Like it makes sense because it's right in front of me. I could reach over and touch it. Whereas like in the kitchen or on a bookshelf, like you kind of miss that touch interactivity. And who wants to look at a tiny screen from far away in a bookshelf? So I guess it depends on your needs. Like it could be good in a bathroom or a kitchen. I'm just probably going to leave it on a desk. But either way, I like it. I was surprised. After the disaster that was the Echo Show, I totally like this thing and I want one.
What's the sound quality like?
The sound quality is not great.
Oh,
so that was that was my one complaint. Like it is a speaker and you're supposed to watch movies or video and listen to music. I think the sound is not great. It's not that rich. It's not that deep. It's just kind of, I don't want to say like tinny, like some bad smartphone speaker. It just doesn't have that rich quality that you get from like even like the littlest Sonos speaker. Obviously not Google Home Max. It's not going to match that, but so I wasn't blown away by the speaker. So if you want the best sound in a smart speaker, I don't think this is it. There's other smart speakers that are going to have better sound. Like Lenovo makes a Google Assistant speaker, I'm pretty sure. It probably sounds better than this. It just doesn't have a screen. So So keep that in mind.
Interesting. I love the idea of a smart display. I mean, pretty much for the exact same reason you would, though. Basically, just having like a third option for playing YouTube TV
Right.
or something like that. You know, having the soccer match on, or baseball or something a bit more exciting than soccer. I have to throw the jab in there.
Yeah, I know you did.
But what I appreciate is that they aren't crazy expensive. And what I think people are saying that it's already on sale technically, or
Costco has it for like $200, the bigger one.
Yeah. So for $200 for the big guy, that's not bad at all to get like a visual Google Assistant helper thing. My only real concern, or the downside that I see so far, is that I think I asked you, but Nest cameras, like say I have a Nest Hello, if someone presses on the button, is that video feed going to go to the smart display or no?
At this point, it doesn't. So if somebody walks up, and presses the button, it'll give you that audio cue that Google Homes do, where they say somebody's at your front door, but it doesn't like automatically pop up and show me the feed. I would imagine, and I have no insight on this, that Google or Nest could build something like that in, right? Or you could build up like some sort of reaction routine or something where if somebody presses that would happen. It doesn't happen like that. But I can say like, blah, blah, Google, show me the front door, and it'll pull up that feed whenever I want. So you could do that. You can do that with any of your Nest cameras. I'm assuming you can do it with other cameras. I just only have Nest. But yeah, I can say like, hey, pull up front door right now. And it shows it to me pretty quickly.
I just like the idea of being able to, like, say my office is upstairs, front door's downstairs, obviously. Someone presses on the button, and then I can interact with them without having to go downstairs. Like, oh, it's someone with a package. Like, oh, just leave it at the front door, like, as soon as they press the button. Like,
yeah, so that would be cool. And I don't know that if you bring up a feed, like, say I pull up the feed and somebody's out there, I can't, like, initiate a conversation either. I think you can only do that through the app on your phone. So maybe they'll get there. I don't know. It runs Android things, which is kind of like a newish operating system from Google. This is like the first build. I don't think they're calling it like a beta by any means. They're releasing this product for everyone to use. But I'd imagine it'll just get immensely better in a hurry. Like now that it's out there and they'll listen to feedback and some other things that since people have them, I'd imagine it's going to improve pretty rapidly. Like I would love for there to be like a button that I press that just pulls up Nest, right? Like right now I have to say to it, bring up my cameras, adjust my temperature. It'd be cool if I could just swipe over, because it has a touch screen you swipe between. If I could just touch Nest and then adjust my temperature. Like I would love to not have to talk to it at all times. And I know that's kind of the point of these things, but it has a screen. I should just be able to touch it to interact with it. So there's some things they could improve on. But it's even smart enough, like if you pull up your Philips Hue lights and they're colored, like you can adjust the color of them or choose different profiles and change colors. So it's got some cool stuff. Anyways, I'm a big fan. So we need to get you one of these too so you can play with it. But mostly it's great as like an on-desk little TV. I mean, you can cast YouTube to it, Twitch to it, YouTube TV to it. You cannot do Netflix though, which is kind of weird. So if you do the voice command to cast Netflix to it, doesn't work. And I tried to hit the cast button in my phone and cast to it, and it also said no. So for some reason, no Netflix just yet, which is kind of weird.
That could be like a DRM or
I'm sure it's Netflix. Yeah, I'm sure it's Netflix said no.
Protection.
Yeah. But you can cast like HBO Now to it. That works just fine. The only one I've had an issue with is Netflix. I don't know why that is.
YouTube videos work, obviously.
Yep. Yeah. All that stuff works.
Honor in the chat, our sponsor for today's episode, is asking, how does the smart display compare audio-wise to the Google Home Mini or just standard Google Home?
Yeah, so I haven't done them side by side. The Mini, no, it's just too much of a little guy. Regular Home, I would say it's probably comparable to that. I probably should do a side by side on that. Yeah, I know there's just something about it. Maybe it's because I'm sitting so damn close to it that I don't like the sound. But like I sit close to my office speakers too, and I have a Sonos like back there. You can't really see it. Well, there's a Home right there too, but it's not plugged in at the moment because it was right here where this thing is. I should do a side by side, but this sound was it was a turn off. I'm not gonna lie. It was I turned music on and was like, I just don't like the sound of this. I'm gonna listen on something else. So
where is the sound emitted from? Like, does it shoot out the back, the sides, the front?
The front. So there's panel on the right, and on the left is the speaker. So there's two like passive tweeters, I think, and a 2-inch 10-watt speaker in there. So,
All right.
one of the weird things is the design from Lenovo. Well, first of all, I like the design, but you're supposed to be able to stand it up portrait or lay it down landscape. So that doesn't actually work. The only time you can put it in portrait is if you're on a duo video call. Because duo calls, right? If somebody's talking to you on their phone, it's in portrait, so you can flip, but you have to like manually like pick the thing up. But if you just want to like leave it on your desk like that in portrait, it doesn't work. And I don't know if Google's going to fix the UI to do that. I think so. But so far, yeah, you can't. The only thing that works in portrait is duo, which is kind of weird. Because I was like looking forward to like turning it so then again, video would look weird. So I don't know.
Everything would just look weird.
Yeah. Speaking of the chat, before when we had technical difficulties, we had a previous show running, and I believe it was Kevin, right? Kevin dropped a big old donation. So shout out again to Kevin. We really appreciate that super chat donation. Anyways, just wanted to shout that out because we didn't get a chance to in the last screw up that I did. So anyways, smart display. So Lenovo's are available now. You can buy them at Lenovo's site. They're supposed to be up at Amazon and Best Buy, I think, though I looked earlier and didn't find them. And Costco has them, and the 10-inch one's already $50 off at Costco if you have a Costco membership. So
That's not bad. Although if you have to pay for a Costco membership, maybe it evens out a little bit, depending on if you got that executive or not. So it just depends.
I do not have a Costco membership anymore.
I used to. I mean, I used to dominate Costco basically because I was like poor and I needed the free food that they gave out. But other than that, I loved Costco.
It's just too much bulk. Even though I have a child, like it's just too much bulk stuff for me. So we just don't know. We gave it up years ago.
Yeah, it's just too far from my house now. It's just not worth it. Like the only thing I would buy there now are those dried mangoes that they sell in like the big bags. Oh man, I love those mangoes.
That's awesome. Okay, so anyway, smart display. We don't know when LGs and JBLs will be out. Probably in the next couple of months, I'd imagine. I mean, they had units to show off back at CES, so I'm sure they're just fine-tuning stuff. Either way, Lenovo's are available now. All right, let's move on to Samsung news. There's a whole bunch of Samsung news this week. First of all, Note 9. It still hasn't been announced. I know it probably seems like it should have been. Hasn't been. It will be announced on August 9th. But we've got teasers for it. Samsung says it's going to have all the storage. It's going to have all the speed. And it's going to have all the batteries. So that's kind of all they said. They just posted like 3 teasers. And those were like the 3 things they hit on. We got colors thanks to EvLeaks. We're looking at a blue version, a black version, and a brown version, which is kind of like a darkish gold. Is it really called brown?
Well, I mean, that's what he said, but Samsung's going to have some type of like copper rose gold. It kind of looks like copper.
It's kind of copperish.
Like, yeah, rusty rose gold. I mean,
it's not bad. I guess it's something different. Yeah. I don't really like Samsung's blue, so I'm not really gonna. But the blue one comes with the urine pen, and if I'm gonna have a note, I want the urine pen. Black one has a black pen. Brown one has a brown pen, but the blue one has the urine pen.
It's a good contrast. It's not bad. I actually really like blue and yellow together. It's a fantastic combination. Might have to paint my kitchen.
Let's see. We also got, thanks to XDA, more on S Pen features. So we know S Pen's gonna have Bluetooth, which is actually kind of cool. What did they say again? That you can, like, they talked about some of the stuff we kind of thought you could do. What else did they say? Do you remember?
Yeah, we assumed that we would be able to control our music, you know, play, pause, skip ahead, things that you could do like with a headset. But according to XDA, who broke this down from leaked firmware for the Galaxy Tab S4,
that's right,
of all things, so yes, you can control music with the S Pen. You can use it as a remote camera shutter button. So I guess
that makes sense.
Well, yeah, say you've got the phone on a tripod and you're standing over here and like you just use the pen as the shutter. That's pretty smart. You will be able to remotely unlock your phone if the S Pen has been removed from the phone and the phone locks. So it'll be like a little key.
I just wonder how that's going to work though. Yeah, if it would have to be an unprotected like lock screen, right? Unless they're going to put like a fingerprint reader in the button, which I don't think they're doing.
Yeah, we'd have to wait. That's no way that's happening. That would be a really expensive S Pen.
Right? That would be a really expensive. And I mean, that's a security issue. Okay, well, I mean, I got to totally trash on that idea, but that's kind of weird. Yeah, we'll find out.
August 9th. I'm sure they'll talk for 10 minutes about what their S Pen can do.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, and then so you'll be able to press the S Pen button to do things in apps, basically. So say pressing it a couple of clicks will launch a different app. A triple click can launch another app. So basically shortcuts programmed into the S Pen button itself.
Yeah.
And that's basically kind of it. I will say, if that's it, I mean, does the S Pen even really need Bluetooth? And like, I'm dying to know. Maybe we ask a poll sometime soon. Like,
what gives it range? I think it gives it more range for sure, so that you could do a remote shutter from 10 feet away or whatever.
That's fine, but I want to know of no owners who truly uses the S Pen to begin with. You know, so I mean, I guess this makes it more useful, but I mean, I guess were people using the S Pen? I
think people really love the S Pen. I know you and I could like we've talked about this, where every time I get a note in house, I pull out the pen. I'm like, let's get to work, and then I can't think of anything to do with it. But I think people who love the Note series love the pen. Eric in the chat says our boy Richard certainly uses that S Pen.
Oh, yeah. Samsung Hype Beast numero uno.
So people in the chat are mentioning with that unlocking thing that I was just complaining about, like using it as a smart lock device. Smartwatches do it. And I totally get that. But a watch is attached to my wrist, right? If I'm in my car, like the Bluetooth in there, like I'm in my car, it's kind of a secure environment. If I'm at my home, that's a secure environment. If a pen unlocks it, like somebody could jack that pen pretty easily. I mean, like you have it sitting on a table, somebody could swipe it, grab, get in your. It seems like because it's a removable little item that could potentially unlock your phone. That doesn't seem as secure as like a watch that's attached to you, or I don't know. I'm hesitant to like that idea.
They're going to have to sell a little tether attachment for, I don't know, $19.99. Little piece of cloth, you just tie it around your wrist. That way the S Pen can't go anywhere. It's going to be great.
Little wrist strap for your S Pen. What I find fascinating though is they're obviously going to have to charge this thing, and so there's going to be a little battery in there. And so that's kind of cool. Like the phone it'll be able to charge, like you'll charge the phone, it'll charge. This is like Samsung's version of being modular or something, but it'll charge, and then it'll pass some of that through to keep that pen charged up. I can't wait till everyone starts complaining about like I took the S Pen out, it was killing battery life. Yeah, right. Can't wait for that conversation.
I mean, the S Pen's got to have like a 50 milliamp hour battery.
I don't even know if that, right?
It's got to be so small. It's not going to do anything. It'll probably, maybe the phone will only charge the S Pen while the phone is plugged into the wall. I mean, there's plenty of things that Samsung.
Yeah, there's probably some things you'll be able to tweak to reduce some of that. But I'd imagine it'll be a tiny battery because they're not expecting people to probably keep the thing out for hours at a time. And either way, it should just barely sip juice. So.
Yeah, I pray that the S Pen does not blow up in anyone's Jeep or anything like that. I mean, could you imagine if the S Pen?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's right, because it's gonna have a battery in it.
It's gonna have a battery.
Please, no, I do not want to have another Samsung bomb situation.
Yeah, there's too many dumb jokes.
Yeah. Let's see. So in terms of latest specs, we're pretty sure the base model storage is going to be 128 gigs, and it'll have an SD card slot too. But base model, so last year was 64. We're pretty sure they're jumping up to base model being 128 this year. And then there's probably going to be a 256 gig model, I believe. But in the past in the US, those bigger storage options often came later. Like the S9, I think, comes in a 256 option now, or is 128? I can't remember. Or no, I think both actually. But they came much later after the S9 launch. So, but the base will be 128, which is quite a bit of damn storage. 6 gig RAM, I think, for the base. I think we've seen rumors that bigger storage one could have 8 gig RAM, though I don't know that that's even close to being confirmed. We're thinking 4,000 milliamp hour battery, which is an improvement. What was last year? Did they drop it down to like 3,000 or was it 3,500? I can't remember. I should know that.
For the Note 8?
Yeah.
It's 3,500?
Was it 35? I mean, that sounds about right. So either way, 4,000 though. I think that's about it that's changed. I think the camera's probably going to just be S9 Plus setup. I don't know that they'll use like brand new sensors in there. Display
zany.
will be huge. Yeah, it does look zany. All right, I think that's it on Note 9, right? I think we're missing anything.
Yeah, August
there.
9th.
It still hasn't been announced. Yeah.
That heat.
Yeah. All right. So also at that event, we're expecting new watch. So Samsung Galaxy Watch. I'm surprised they didn't call them Galaxy Watch from the beginning. Like we'd be on Watch 5 or 4 or something now. Instead they went Gear and S and crap. Anyway, Galaxy Watch. We're expecting 2 sizes. Bigger model, smaller model. One's 42 millimeters. One is around 48 millimeters, I do believe. At least that's what the FCC documents kind of have told us. And then the 42 millimeter option actually popped up at Samsung's site briefly in a rose gold colorway. So we think we'll get rose gold. I'd imagine we'll get black or like dark gray. We could get silver or something like that too, but we're certainly getting rose gold. We don't know pricing or really specs. It looks like a nice watch. The only thing is, I don't know if we've had a show since this was discovered, but it's not running Wear OS. I don't know. Did we talk about this on the last show? I can't remember. It's been so long. It's going to run Tizen 4.0 more than likely. I mean, we've kind of, talked about this at length, but the issue with Tizen is app compatibility. There's just not a lot of apps on Tizen. Wear OS has apps, but Wear OS is also a garbage operating system. So it's kind of like a toss up on which to go with there. But it looks nice and it'll be announced alongside the Note 9 and the Tab S4, which you mentioned. Do you think we'll get a Bixby speaker? Bixby speaker? Or do you think that's coming later?
They might tease it this week. I'm not expecting a full release.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Does anyone care?
Yeah, I don't really think anyone cares about a Bixby speaker. In potentially horrendous news for anyone who's not a Samsung phone owner, Fortnite for Android, when it finally releases, because it's already available on iOS, is supposed to be a Samsung exclusive, possibly exclusive to just the Note 9 initially for maybe the first 30 days that it's released before it makes its way to other phones. Do you want to talk about this? I mean, you are the Fortnite guy around these parts. So how do you feel about Fortnite possibly? Oh, so 9 to 5 Google reported this. And on the same day, basically, or the day prior, we had someone tell us the same thing. We couldn't corroborate it with a second source. We didn't run with it, but they got a source that said it. We also had one that said it. And there's other details involved too. So you want to talk about Fortnite?
Yeah, so what we're looking at is it's a bunch of BS, people. So Samsung and Epic Games have apparently worked out some type of deal where when Fortnite launches for Android, it will be released exclusively for the Galaxy Note 9. During Samsung's event, at least from what we hear, that's when Android availability for Fortnite will be released, along with this 30-day exclusivity period for the Note 9. Now, with the details that 9 to 5 Google reported, the people who pre-order the Galaxy Note 9 will be awarded like $100 to $150 of V-Bucks, which is Fortnite's in-game currency. It can be used for player skins, glider skins, emotes. You can buy the season pass with it, etc., or the battle pass. So, I mean, that's basically it. Now, it makes sense that Samsung would do. I mean, Samsung is the biggest name in Android, at least with regard to OEMs, and then Fortnite is the biggest name in gaming right now. So if you're going to release your title for Android, and it's been hyped up incredibly, right? So Fortnite for iOS has been a huge hit. I think they've made about $1 billion or something like that. It was either 100 million or $1 billion. I know that's a huge difference, but regardless, it's a big number for a mobile game that just has in-app purchases for custom skins and stuff that they don't give you an advantage in the game or anything like that. It's not pay to win. But regardless, the fact that they would release it on Android, the world's largest mobile operating system, and then making an exclusive not only to a brand, but then a single device possibly of that brand, that hurts. It's great for me because I'll undoubtedly have a Note 9 and, while I'm reviewing it or whatever, and I'll just be having it. So no big deal. But for anyone who doesn't dig the Samsung, that sucks. Like, there's plenty of other phones that have the power to run Fortnite. So.
Yeah, I mean, the Note 9 or S9, if it comes to both of those, they have Snapdragon 845. Other phones have 845s. Actually, on for the Fortnite site, the mobile site that talks about potential phones, like it lists like Pixel 2, I think V30. There's a whole bunch of phones they're obviously preparing to launch it on. So, but yeah, you're like you said, Samsung's the biggest. Fortnite's the biggest. Like, it's kind of a nice little mashup there. The rich get richer. It just sucks for anyone who doesn't. But 30 days, if it's 30 days, 30 days. I think we'll all survive that, right?
What's interesting, Tech Leathercraft in the chat says it doesn't make sense. Note 9 is supposed to reflect productivity, not gaming. I completely agree with that. We had another source who was talking about how one company in particular, a gaming company who happens to make an Android device that I'm sure you've all heard of, they were working closely with Epic Games to like optimize the title for Android, at least on their device, right? Because it features 120 hertz refresh rate display, et cetera, et cetera. So the fact that Epic Games wouldn't align more with like a gaming company, say like Razer or like Nvidia or someone like that, to bring it to Android, it seems odd to me. But I think Samsung doesn't care, right? They're like, okay, Fortnite's making a ton of cash. We want to make a ton of cash, and like, what better way to hype up your Note 9 than to say we're the only ones with Fortnite on Android right now? I mean,
do you think anyone will buy the Note 9 just to get 30 days early access to Fortnite?
Oh yes, any YouTuber who makes like Fortnite mobile related content, they're automatically getting it.
They're probably already getting paid to promote it.
Oh, absolutely. So I mean,
I'm just saying, like, Samsung's writing the contract right now. Like, we're going to send you a Note 9. Please play Fortnite on it and talk about this. Here's like 50 grand.
It's completely possible. I don't know. I don't like to speculate, but yeah, I do. I could see it happening. I'll be certainly talking about it. I mean, geez, why it's Fortnite?
You're like,
Fortnite
Samsung, I need that review unit now. I got stuff to play. I'll get you the review later.
If you type in, so just to give you an example, like what Fortnite is doing right now, just the world of even like journalism. So you've got each week they have a new set of challenges on Fortnite, and some are kind of like mysterious. You have to search for them in the game. If you type in like season 5 week 2 map challenge, the first thing that pops up is Forbes, and Forbes is up there with like the clickbaitiest titles every single week. That's just like dominating Fortnite SEO on Google. And so Fortnite's killing the game, and everyone wants a taste. So
Samsung's gonna get it, apparently.
Samsung's gonna get a big old taste, big old mouthful of Fortnite.
Too funny. All right,
but I don't even play Fortnite.
Right. In other Samsung news, they showed off an unbreakable OLED panel this week. It's basically plastic, and they put more plastic over the top of it, and it bends and it folds. Well, I shouldn't say it folds. I should say it bends. And someone smashed it with a hammer on video and showed it off. The only reason I bring it up is because we keep hearing these rumors about this upcoming Galaxy X, which could be a foldable phone. This panel is not foldable, I don't think. I mean, they don't show it like folded in half, but it is unbreakable. It'll probably go in like car display units and things like that. It could go in portable video game consoles like a Nintendo or something, right? So then you have a screen that won't break. It is OLED. We don't really know resolution on it or anything, but they showed it off this week, and I think it made a bunch of headlines because people were like, oh, this is the thing that's in the Galaxy X. Well, this isn't foldable. It's just really flexible, unbreakable. Just wanted to point that out.
Clickbait.
Let's see. So, Google Home in other news this week, it got scheduled routines, which I know doesn't sound like a huge deal, but this is kind of a big deal. So Google Home, back in March, got routines. Routines are basically items or tasks you can set multiple things to happen at once. So you could just say, blah, blah, Google, I'm leaving. Like, that's the one I have set up. Like, we're leaving. And then it makes sure all my lights are turned off, and it can adjust the temperature if it wants, or probably kick a Nest Cam on. I haven't actually tried that, but it can do some things, right? But you had to initiate those. So scheduled routines are now where you can set stuff to happen at a certain time. So like I set one up yesterday. So at like midnight, it makes sure all the lights in my house are off, right? So like if I forget to turn off the kitchen light, or I pass out upstairs and I turn the lights off, like it'll just do that now every night at midnight. You can have it play a certain playlist at a certain time. dim your lights also, and set the temperature. So like if you're getting ready for bed, like if I put my kid to bed, like I can set a certain time, like if he's playing, like, oh, the lights dim, his playlist comes on, and now he needs to go to bed, right? Like you can set up things like that. It's not super advanced quite yet. There's not a ton of things you can set up in there, but it'll get there. And so if you're one of those people that it's been automating tasks for your house and some other service, you can actually start bringing that in-house to Google at this point.
Love it.
I really love it. Yeah. Like I have it set like the lights above me. I have them set to like turn off automatically at like 4:15, which hopefully is a reminder to stop working for the day. Chromecast turned 5 years old this week. It's kind of a big deal. Chromecast, like, in many ways changed the game. You could argue, I think, that Chromecast is the best hardware product Google has ever made.
No doubt.
I mean, it is, right?
No argument for me.
They created this little dongle thing, and the original one was not like peak design. It's kind of a goofy looking thing. Yeah. It didn't do HD or anything, did it? Or was it like 720p max maybe? I can't remember.
Yeah, it must have been.
Yeah, something like that. Either way, it was $35 and you plugged it into any monitor, TV, whatever, and you could just send stuff to it. It was funny. I was looking back when I wrote up this poll that we did about if anyone's still using it. And we used to write up like, now this service supports Chromecast. Like that was the news. When it first launched, there was only like a couple of apps that worked with it. And then we had to wait for like Netflix and HBO and all these. And it was like a big deal. Like everyone supports Chromecast, and it's built into, well, obviously your browser, but it's built into every app you use. It's in TVs, it's in speakers. Like you just cast stuff everywhere. It's probably one of the coolest technologies Google's ever done. And yeah, it's 5 years old. Does it seem like it's been around that long? I mean, we've had a second gen.
The dongle, yes, because I don't use a dongle. I just use Shield TV and stuff.
That's
I use the premise of the technology every day though. When I cast something to Google Home or you know in my Shield TV, I mean, I use that technology every day of my life right now.
Yeah.
So I think it's fantastic. I think Chromecast, like you said, changed the game. It's a game changer.
It's a game changer.
Obviously, it's great. I mean, all these companies are integrating the same thing into their TVs and speakers, etc. I mean, everyone's investing in that.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. It's so much better than whatever else was out. I remember what was that one company, that scam company? Was it
Miracast was supposed to be one? There was that. There was another technology that someone tried to push at one point and it was awful. I can't remember. I mean, like Apple's got its AirPlay that they've been doing. I don't know that anything's quite as simple as Chrome. I mean, Chromecast is like works everywhere, like with everyone. It's like if you have an iPhone, you can cast stuff. AirPlay is like locked to iPhones and Apple products.
Yeah,
it's a fantastic thing, and yeah, I love it that everyone's just building. Like you said, you just cast stuff to your Shield TV. So I do the same thing. I don't necessarily have Chromecast attached to TVs anymore because I have a couple of Shield TVs, but you can just cast stuff.
It's the same thing.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Dean in the chat says he's waiting for his TV to die so he can justify buying a smart TV. Yeah, hey man, just a bat, hammer, any type of thing, kill a TV.
Yeah, you can kill a TV pretty quick. DLNA. That's what everyone says in the chat. Yeah. Yeah, I remember I tried some of those early, like DLNA. I swear it was called Miracast. I tried, like you had to buy this dongle thing and none of them worked. A lot of times it was because I was using a Google phone and everything is always broken on Google phones often. None of those things worked though. So I'm so glad that they came out with Chromecast.
Darkman X doesn't necessarily agree. He says Chromecast is really funky and unreliable at times. Once you play video, the controls disconnect. There are those times where things get a little wonky. But like all good things in technology, you live with the wonk. That's gonna be on a shirt.
You live with the wonk. It makes a good point. Like Chromecast is as brilliant as it is, there are still issues. Like, yes, you'll be watching something, all of a sudden the controls on your phone just disappear. And you go back in the app and you tap on the cast button again to see if it's still working. And then the controls magically appear. Like, those are certainly issues that they've never fixed, but I'll still take it.
Yeah. Sometimes like I'll cast something from my phone to my Google Home Mini, like say while I'm in the shower just playing something, and then it'll say, oh, we cannot access your library because your account's being used on another device. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like my phone, this isn't happening right now. Like,
yeah.
So sometimes it can be difficult,
It can.
but for the most part, it's fantastic.
For the most part. All right, in carrier news, we had announcements of new 5G markets, which is always a big deal, even though we won't be able to access any of these 5G markets for who knows how long. AT&T announced 3 new markets this week, or maybe last week. Charlotte, Raleigh, and Oklahoma City will all be 5G markets this year, right? And they're joining Dallas, Waco, and Atlanta.
Waco, go. Is that Baylor?
Is it Baylor in Waco? It might be.
I think so. I just know Joan and Chip from the, I forget, whatever, HGTV show. Anyway,
Fixer Upper.
Yeah, he's a big Baylor guy, and they live in Waco, Texas.
That's true. He's a big Baylor guy. Verizon also announced a new 5G city, which is Houston. So we've now got Sacramento, LA, Houston. There's supposed to be a 4th. They won't tell us what the 4th is. The difference between AT&T and Verizon is AT&T is actually going to be mobile 5G, which is probably just going to be a little mobile hotspot puck thing, not like a 5G phone. But theirs is mobile, though. Like those markets are going to have actual 5G in network everywhere sort of thing. Verizon is home internet. Like basically, you sign up with Verizon and they come install like a giant thing on the outside of your house, and then inside your house you have another 5G router basically, and so they're beaming to the outside of your house, which then beams inside your house. And theirs is millimeter wave 5G, which is different than what AT&T's 5G is. It's confusing. Either way, Verizon's is not mobile, it's home internet. AT&T's is mobile. But
Kevin Whiten in the chat is asking, do we know what speeds 5G will get? What theoretically we're talking a gigabit.
Yeah, or multi-gigabit eventually. So it depends. It depends, right? It depends on the spectrum that's being used in that. So Verizon's millimeter wave stuff is, for the most part, the faster 5G stuff. The problem with it is it doesn't stretch very far, and it doesn't really work through giant buildings. It struggles to work around buildings. Like it has all these issues, which is why early on everyone was hating on millimeter wave and telling Verizon they were dumb. They've worked around some of those issues, but with millimeter wave 5G, you'll have stupid fast internet. Like if you have their home 5G internet, your internet will probably be, I'd imagine, gig down. I don't know what the up is, but it's going to be super fast. With AT&T's and T-Mobile's and Sprint's, their early wireless networks, they're not going to be really, well, T-Mobile at least said ours is not going to be really fast right away. We're just going to try to blanket the land, and then we'll work on ramping up speed. I to be honest, I haven't paid close enough attention to what AT&T's first rollout is, if it's going to be the fast stuff or the slower stuff. So, but the initial wireless network's probably not going to be stupid fast. They'll probably be faster in LTE, but not like gigabit for a while. But Verizon's home internet should be, if that helps. So,
oh, it's going to be glorious days. 2030 is going to be awesome when everyone gets this. Maybe 2040. I don't know. We'll all be dead by then.
So when we wrote up the 5G, Verizon's next 5G market, like somebody's initial reply on Twitter to our story was, yeah, that like cancer forming, beaming crap going all around. And
oh yeah,
I'm not going to go conspiracy theorist here, but isn't that kind of a concern? Like, I mean, we got spectrum waves beaming all over as it is. And I swear I've seen some reports on all this 5G stuff and how maybe it hasn't been thoroughly researched quite yet. I don't know. Just throwing that out there. I should probably look into it before I create some weird conspiracy, but maybe it does worry me a little bit.
It completely worries me. The fact that Verizon has so much money that they could buy our government officials and pay lobbyists.
They can appoint them at the FCC. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, we've got ex-Verizon guy in charge, dude. So, you know, if 5G gives you cancer, I mean, you won't be able to sue Verizon. So that's just all there is to it. I mean, they come and attach a microwave-looking thing to your house just so you can get the damn signal. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'll look into it. I'll report back at the next show what my findings are.
I would start investing in aluminum foil.
Just blanket your house with aluminum foil. 5G. It's going to be a great future. All right. Speaking of carriers, and this is our last topic before trivia, by the way. We just asked How long has everyone been with their current carrier? And we asked this because we saw this big shift, right? Like back in 3G, 4G LTE, like Verizon was one of the first, and everyone kind of followed along with 4G LTE markets, and that was a big push. But their prices were always up, and then they killed unlimited data, and then T-Mobile became the Un-carrier and made unlimited data again, all this stuff, right? Like I feel like there's been this shuffle. So I was just curious, like how often people have been changing, and 67% of our readers said they'd been with their current carrier for longer than 5 years. So as much as I think I assumed people jumped around, I don't think people ever jump around. Like you've been with AT&T prepaid for how long? Probably like at least 5 years now, right? Like I know it probably went really fast, but I've had Verizon for probably 15 years, like a line active there. But I also keep a T-Mobile line active, which is probably, I bet it's been 5 years that I've had that too. So 3 to 5 years was 16%, 1 to 2 years was 10%, and less than a year was 7%. So people just lock in a couple years. So it's kind of a different subject, but when I talk all the trash I can about the deals that carriers put on where they do the bill credit thing for 2 years, because I think those are scummy. We often have people say to us like, this isn't a deal, it's a bill credit thing. Why are you posting this crap? Well, these numbers right here in our poll, these are why, because people stick with a carrier. And if you stick with a carrier for 2 years, those bill credit deals technically save you hundreds of dollars. So that's why Guy who always says that to us, that's why we post those, because technically for people that stick home, they're deals.
Yeah, Guy
deal guy. Not like we haven't been open about the fact that I think those deals are scummy, but we always get somebody who goes, you guys are stupid. Okay.
You guys are clickbait.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, is it time?
Is it time? Is it trivia time? Oh, the dance. The trivia dance. For those new, this is the trivia dance. There's probably some people doing it at their desk right now. There's probably some people doing it. Tim's getting something ready. I don't know what it. Oh, he's getting the lights ready.
I'm trying to get the lights going.
Oh, it's time. Giving you a chance. Oh, it got dark. Oh, there we go.
Dark.
Trivia time. All right. Well, Tim has technical difficulties with his lights. Trivia for those new DL show trivia. End of each show, we ask 5 questions and we award 5 winners. So 5 questions are all tech related, sometimes related to the show, sometimes just history of Android or Droid Life or Droid or whatever. We throw up a question on the screen. Tim also reads it out. First person to answer correctly in the chat is the winner, and Tim and I will verify with our screens who that winner is. We'll shout it out. You'll know if you're the winner or not. And we'll do that for 5 questions. So 5 different winners. We'll work out the pricing at the end of the show. We'll drop an email so you can get in contact with us. With that said, Honor once again has sponsored the show in terms of prizes. So they're giving away some good stuff. We got an Honor 7X phone and a whole bunch of Honor Band 3 smart bands.
Yes, I am.
By the way, you're
excited.
oh, now the colors are back. I was like, you're really dark, and now it keeps like strobing different colors.
It's activated by my voice right now. So while I'm talking, as long as I'm talking, really it's going to be a sweet light show. But if I don't talk, it goes dim.
Then it goes dim. So again, Honor sponsored it. Got lots of awesome prizes. So we'll do 5 questions. Each one will get a prize, either a smart band or the phone. Have you decided which question is for the phone? Is it the final question?
Absolutely. Final question we have. I'm about to get a seizure. The final question we have, question number 5, will be the hardest question, very difficult question, and it will be for the phone. So just FYI.
Makes sense. Is everyone ready?
Oh, yeah.
Is everyone ready? Oh, Tim's so excited.
I'm super excited.
One last trivia dance. Crank that thing down to 144p. This is your last chance. We're going to start. Let's fire it up.
Fantastic. I'm ready when you are.
Audio only. All right.
All right, I'm ready for question number 1.
All right, question number 1 up now.
In what year was Honor launched as a sub-brand of Huawei? And again, what year was Honor launched as a sub-brand of Huawei? Eric Ortiz with the fire quickness of the correct answer. 2013. Congratulations, Eric Ortiz. You won yourself a sweet Honor Smart Band 3.
Eric Ortiz is so quick.
I don't know how he does it. It seems almost like every
2013.
time.
Honor was created
2013.
2013. So quick.
Conceived in 2011, I believe, and then
Launched or made something.
You know,
Crazy.
I don't know. And I'm ready for question number 2 if you're ready.
I'm ready. Question number 2 up now.
What is the reported battery size for the Galaxy Note 9? And again, what is the reported battery size for the Galaxy Note 9? Zid initial. We've got the correct
Zid
answer.
initial.
4,000. Yep, Zid initial. 4,000 milliamp hour.
That's right, 4,000 milliamp hour. Of course, that's not confirmed, but it is the long oft rumored 4,000 has kind of been the number for a while. So Zid initial. That is a Huawei Band 3 for both Eric and Zid initial.
And I got him too.
Right there.
It's gonna be legit. Congrats, boys.
So good. Congrats.
Or people. Can't assume gender. Let's go with question number 3, please.
Question number 3 up now.
What are the development code names for Google's Pixel 3 and Pixel 3 XL? So we're looking for two words here. What are the development code names for Google's Pixel 3 and Pixel 3 XL?
And we reported this back in like October.
It's true.
Whale time, tuna, I forget. Oh, we got a little stumper on this one.
Yes.
Struggle chat.
I
You got to get both.
Gotta get both. We need to see both
You need to see both.
We need to see both answers in the same Odyssey adventure.
Oh, I think Rashad's got it.
Rashad, I'll take Rashad. Crosshatch and Blue Line. Yes.
Yep.
Oh.
Rashad, Crosshatch and Blue Line. So people had Crosshatch or Blue Line. Nobody had them both at the same time until Rashad.
Congratulations, Rashad.
Congratulations, Rashad.
Win yourself a sweet Honor Smart Band 3.
Sweet. Crosshatch and Blue Line. I don't think we know which is which, do we? But Crosshatch and
I
Blue
don't
Line.
think so. My money's on Blue Line being the smaller guy, Crosshatch being the big guy.
I think I actually looked at photos of the fish, and Crosshatch is actually the smaller. Like Blue Line's like this big blubbery looking tuna thing, and Crosshatch like has a crosshatch like yellow pattern on it. I think it's a smaller fish. I think.
Well, all right.
But I was with you. I would have assumed the opposite.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, it's just a guess. I'm ready for question number 4.
All right, question number 4 up now.
During Amazon Prime Day, the Essential phone was priced incredibly low. What was the price? So during Amazon
Stupid
Prime Day,
deal.
the Essential phone was priced incredibly low. What was the price? Steve Bassinger with the correct price of $250.
Steve B.
Steve, congratulations.
$250
buddy.
bucks. $250 for an
can you
Essential
believe
phone.
it?
I know it's a year old and they're never going to make another phone, but they've still said they're going to support this thing for 3 years. I don't know if they're going to be around for 3 years, but they have said that.
Hey man, I mean, it's an Essential phone. That was like a $700 phone when released.
Yeah, they wanted $700 initially. Think about that.
And now you can get it for $250 new. And then a 360 camera for $19. I mean, what do you
Yeah, I mean, they're just selling off everything so they can just be like, all right, let's just be done with this. Let's just be done. $250 though, pretty good deal. I mean, I should have bought one just to like keep in a shelf in case like a family member needed a phone because it works on every carrier too.
Right.
Crazy.
Crazy. All right. Well, I think we've reached that
The final
time
question.
and the final question. Again,
It's a long one, by the way. Be prepared
It's
to
a
read
long one.
and listen closely.
Yes, I will. I'll read it a couple of times. I'm going to go into some pronunciations, and good luck, everybody. Try and think hard. But, you know, once you realize the answer, or once I tell you, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, duh. You know, so just use the power of reduction.
Get that dance going. Final question for a
Final
phone.
question
An
for a
Honor
phone.
7X.
7X. Oh, this is not the time to lag.
Huge. No, it is not.
All right, I am ready when you are.
All right, question number 5 going up now.
Huawei is the official translation of the company's Chinese name as shown here. The etymology of the first character is derived from this character, pronounced Hua, which means what when translated to English? So again, Huawei is the official translation of the company's Chinese name as shown here. The etymology of the first character is derived from this character, pronounced Hua, which means what when translated to English.
Zach.
Zach?
I
I'm seeing Zach with the correct answer of flower.
Zach Bervin. Flower.
Oh, heck yeah. So it wasn't that difficult of a question. I was really scared for everybody. I was like, oh no, this is going to be too hard.
I think it's just because it would look a really long one.
Yes.
Scared everyone.
Oh, I couldn't be more happy that you guys got it. And oh man, Zach, congratulations. New phone coming your way.
Coming your way. Honor 7X. Good job, Zach.
Oh yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I was thinking, it's in Huawei's logo above. It's a flower. Kellen thought it was a leaf, but that's okay. It's a flower. But yeah.
What do I know? What do I know?
Apparently not that. That's
So,
now you do.
So yeah, that's 4 winners get a Smart Band 3. Honor Band 3 Smart Band, and Zach gets the Honor 7X.
Fantastic.
Great
I'm putting my
prize
email
lineup.
down in the chat. Oh, absolutely. Honor, thank you again. I wanted to say, if you weren't lucky enough to purchase a phone, Honor right now has their Summer Sun promotion going on, which has savings on the 7X and all their latest devices. And we wrote that up. It's in the podcast post that we wrote up on the page if you wanted to check that out. So again, thank you very much, Honor. It has been an honor working with you to get these prizes out to everyone. And winners, I have placed my email in the chat, so please email me. I'll get your identities confirmed, and then I'll send out your prizes later today, and it's going to be beautiful.
Hit up that chat. Tim's email's in there right now.
Yeah. I know Eric's already got it. He's won a couple of times. So.
Eric wins every week. It's not fair. Start shadow banning Eric's responses.
Sorry, Eric. You're too good at trivia.
He's got that triple gig connection.
Something's going on.
Something.
Gosh.
Yeah. I think that's it. Big trivia this week, but we got, next week, Motorola event. Your boy's gonna be in Chicago for that. Then the next week, Note 9, NYC. Tim will be in NYC for that. We got phones coming, folks. We got the Motorola thing. I don't think is a live stream thing, but we know they're hosting something next week, so should be fun. And then the Samsung thing will certainly be a live stream thing, but Tim will be on hand for that as well. So yeah, lots of stuff going on. Should be good. And then right after that, we should get Android P, and then we start really hyping the Pixel 3.
Pixels.
Might get a new Pixel book this year. All sorts of good stuff. New Pixel Buds. Maybe Pixel Watch. It's not one right there, but...
New Pixel book? I don't know if you said that already.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff then.
A lot of stuff. All right, cool. Anything else?
No, I hope everyone has a fantastic week. I don't know where everyone is, but it is hot in Portland. I am dying, so I'm going to take an ice bath.
Yes. 90s every damn day here. Stay cool out there. Be safe. Thanks for joining us. Droid Life Show episode 179. Peace.